Salut et bienvenue à EBI22. Welcome to this very short video. If you're watching this, it's because your French teacher has given you EBI22 on your latest assessment and you want to improve it to get a better grade and to develop some better French. Now, I can see where you've got EBI22 because it's so easy under exam or assessment pressure when you've got a time limit and you've got to answer questions to fall back on the language you know and the language you're confident at and to use that. But the issue with that is you're going to find that your work gets repetitive. Now, the problem with this is on the mark scheme for the examiner, there's the bottom two rings to get the lower side of the marks include the sentence repetition, shows repetition, and to get higher marks you have to show a broader range of language, so you're not repeating parce que c'est, for example, or j'aime or j'adore. You're using some different language which shows the examiner your confidence that you've got a broad vocabulary and therefore you've got more advanced French. So this is easy to do, and even top students who know like all the synonyms and all the different ways to say it in that exam, they get into the habit of using the same thing. So we're breaking that habit today. We're looking at EBI22. What we're going to do is learn some synonyms, talk about different ways to say some frequent phrases, and by the end of this video they'll be in your head and you'll know what to do for next time, so you won't get this EBI again and your work will be broader, it will be more advanced, it will have nicer vocabulary and you will get a higher mark. So that's what it's all about today. EBI22, I'll show you some quick fixes, but first we have to look at the long-term solutions to this EBI. Et voilà, here we are. Right guys, so today's video lesson will have some short-term solutions and we'll give you some key vocabulary, but if you actually want to conquer this and you actually want to get more advanced vocabulary into your French and a higher grade, it's about what you do in between now and the next assessment. So I've got 2 tips, 2 steps that you must do to improve. Step 1 during the module is all about memorize. People fall back and use the same vocabulary they've always used because they struggle to have like the other phrases we've talked about in their heads. They know them and they could recognize them, but it's getting it into your own French. So go on Memorize, which is full of more advanced vocab, and you need to spend, remember, it's at least 15 minutes a week. If you're doing 15 minutes a week, I'd say you get a 4 or 5. That's what you're aiming for. If you're aiming higher than a 4 to a 5, you've got to be spending 20 minutes, 30 minutes. If you're going even higher, you need to spend a long time. This will give you loads of new, fresh vocabulary. So this, je pense que c'est fantastique, will never happen again. This isn't advanced enough. Climb the Memorize table between now and next module and you'll see your exam grade shoot up. The second thing, before every speaking assessment and every writing assessment, you have a long list of questions. You've got a booklet with a long list of questions, and that's got every single exam question we can think of. So all you need to do is, when you're doing your preparation for your homework and when you're making your best drafts, think about using a range of language. Think back and think, right, last time a French teacher said EBI22 is a problem, so how can I say, what do I always repeat? What's my teacher said I've always repeated? What's an alternative? Get that into your preparation, and then when you're under that exam pressure, you won't fall back into the old habits because you'll think, no, I've got this word instead, or I've got this key phrase instead, and that will make all the difference. It's all about your preparation. Extra challenge then is all about your skills, guys. So to make sure you remember them, why don't you test yourself? What I do is make a list of fancy synonyms, right? Put it on a post-it, English one side, French the other, stick it on your mirror or somewhere you look at a lot in your room or just in your house. And then every time you do that thing, like you look in your mirror, you need to look at that post-it and see if you can name the English for the French side or name the French for the English side, which is a bit harder. See if you can do it and test yourself, not just today, not just for your homework because your teacher told you to do red pen, but as part of your learning. If you do that, it's going to get into your long-term memory, and trust me, next time you do a writing assessment, you will smash it. So those are the 2 long-term tips. Let's look at some short-term phrases and some short-term ideas that are going to help you out. Et voilà mes petits, vous avez 3 minutes. Ce que j'ai fait, j'ai choisi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 phrases qui sont utilisées beaucoup trop par les étudiants. Qu'est-ce que c'est utiliser trop? Used too much. Donc, parce que, so many times I see this, j'aime and je n'aime pas. Like, there's nothing wrong with j'aime and je n'aime pas, but there's so many alternatives you need to use. À mon avis, et parce que c'est. All of these I see a lot. Now, I don't know exactly what your teacher said is repetitive, but I bet you some of these are coming in, and there's different ways to say it. Donc, ce qu'il faut faire, première chose, l'anglais ici, ça c'est facile. Puis, la chose plus difficile, il faut penser d'un synonyme pour parce que, et dis-moi l'anglais et un autre. Donc, je veux deux synonymes pour chaque phrase. Puis, j'aime, penser d'un autre moyen pour dire j'aime. Et qu'est-ce que c'est l'anglais aussi? Donc, c'est assez compliqué aujourd'hui, mes petits. Donc, I want 8 today. English and the synonyms, so it's 2 marks. So first off, you should all get 5 of these because you know what all these are, hopefully. Give me a synonym, give me the English. 8 is your target today. 12 will be very strong. 28 is the total. I'll check that. And I don't. So, see how many of these you know. Think, can you give a synonym? Have you got another way of using this word? Put me on pause for 3 minutes and see how you do. Once you've done that, restart the video and I'll go through some synonyms. You might have some different ones, that's fine. I'll go through some answers to help you out. Pause me now, see if you can complete this grid. 8 is the target. Bon courage, on y va. Alors mes petits, right guys, if you listen to me now, you've had your 3 minutes and you've tried to give some synonyms for these key overused words. So I'm going to go through some. You might have some different ones, that's fine, you still might be right. I just can't put every possibility out there, so mark it up. I told you I wanted 8, it's actually out of 25, change that. So give yourself a mark out of 25. First off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully you knew all 5 of the mots trop utilisés en anglais. Let's go through some synonyms. So because, easy one, I see parce que so much. Mix it up with a lovely puisque, which means like since or as or because. And also car. These two are beautiful. Use them. Then you've got parce que, puisque, car. You can use them pretty much in any context. And you've got a really nice synonym which shows the examiner your range. J'aime. There's absolutely nothing wrong with using j'aime. I use it probably every day of my life. But there's nice synonyms for the exam that you can show your range. I've got 2, there's loads of these. The first one, a fan favorite, ce qui me plaît, is another way of saying j'aime. Ce qui me plaît est, and then tell me. Ce qui me plaît est jouer au foot. That's a much more advanced sentence than j'aime jouer au foot. Both are good, but use the mix. Remember, ce qui me plaît means I like. It literally means this, that, me pleases. So complicated. Alors, another synonym, I've got j'ai une passion pour. It's just so much stronger. Rather than saying j'aime la natation, that does sound very year 7, no disrespect if you've just used that in your assessment. J'aime la natation. But if you said j'ai une passion pour la natation, j'ai une passion pour faire de la natation, that just sounds like so much more advanced, that you're passionate about it. And then when you develop your ideas, I swim 5 times a week, I want to train, I want to swim in the Olympics, that's like where it will really hit home. A simple change. Don't just use j'aime, mix it up. Alright, so for je n'aime pas, you could change the 2 I've given you into negatives, or I've given 2 more. Ce qui ne me plaît pas, this literally says this that me displeases, so use it both. Instead of je n'aime pas, c'est ce qui ne me plaît pas. Look how advanced that looks to the examiner. Rather than using a je n'aime pas, je n'aime pas, je n'aime pas 10 times, look at that. The examiner will like how advanced this is and that you've tried to use something different. Another good one, ce qui ne m'intéresse pas. So you could have this over here, ce qui m'intéresse, ce qui ne m'intéresse pas. What doesn't interest me, which is a really good synonym, really advanced. Use it instead of je n'aime pas, je déteste. The examiner will love it. All right. Giving your opinion is a huge part of the GCSE. À mon avis is fine. Like, it's not even that simple. But mix it up. I've got 2 alternatives. Selon moi, pour ma part. Make sure you don't repeat à mon avis, je pense que, à mon avis, je pense que all the time. Et finalement, parce que c'est our old favorite, won't you say? Instead of saying because it's exciting, because it's interesting, because it's cool, tell me your emotion. The examiner will like this detail and it'll make you stand out. So rather than saying I like it because it's interesting, I like rap music because it's fun, mix it up. Cela me rend triste. Cela me rend heureux. Cela me rend joyeux. Think about how it makes you feel and what it makes you feel like doing. So cela me rend has to go with our emotions. Heureux, heureuse, triste, content, en colère, etc. Whereas, cela me donne envie, should have a de after it. Cela me donne envie de, that's how you say it makes me want to, and then give an action. Cela me donne envie de danser. Cela me donne envie de jouer. Cela me donne envie de pleurer parce que c'est nul. Puisque c'est nul, even better. So you need to use these to tell me your emotions, tell me how it makes you feel. Right, guys, these are the synonyms today. Well done on this. Let's go again. Alors, exactement la même chose. Cover up your last attempt. I want you to go again. Just don't look, don't cheat yourself. Have you learned any new words? Have you got an idea of some synonyms you can use? Put me on pause encore une fois pour 3 minutes. Après 3 minutes, recommencez les vidéos. We'll go through the answers again. You can mark your work. 3 minutes, posez-moi, on y va. Alors mes petits, right guys, how have you got on? Have you got more this time than last time? Here's your answers. I've gotten exactly the same as the ones we did before. Now, excellent effort doing this twice. This is what you need to do. You've got to be disciplined. You've got to practice your vocab bit by bit by bit to develop. Hopefully this video has helped you and it's given you some alternatives that you didn't think of. You've got one more step to do to make sure this gets into be part of your repertoire and your writing. So keep watching the video. The next slide will talk through your homework, your daily task homework to do after the assessment. This is an EBI you can crack. Well done for today. Hopefully now you'll never see EBI22 on your work and you will have improved. Merci pour avoir regardé la vidéo et à la prochaine fois. Au revoir. Your next step is your daily test. So your French teacher will have set you this for your homework. You've got your daily test booklet. Do not write in the booklet. What I want you to do, step 1 is in your pink books, copy out this box, copy out all the questions, copy out all the answers, and then copy out the blank test next to it. Then you're going to revise all the answers here. So you're going to spend your time learning this, make sure you master it. Once you've got it, this is what I want you to do. Cover up the answers, make sure you can't see them, and then in the blank test that you've copied out, take out your red pen, see if you can answer all of these questions and see if you can fill in any boxes. Then once you've done that, uncover this and look at what you've done and mark up your work. What have you got right? What have you got wrong? And then have a look. This is the ideal bit. Rinse and repeat. Go back to the start, revise the answers again, and then test yourself again, and then revise again, and then test again, and then mark again, and repeat until you've absolutely cracked it. And then if you've cracked it, say you started Monday and by Tuesday you know it off by heart, great. I bet you by Friday you will have forgotten it again. It's called a daily test because we want you to do it once every day, and the best students do this. Test yourself every day. If you can do it for 5 consecutive days in a row and get 100%, you've cracked it, you've got it, you've done it. So that is your homework for next time. Your extra challenge, guys, is to make a revision poster on this. So why don't you watch the video again, pause it, make a poster, make it look amazing, stick it up in your room or show it to your French teacher, show to make sure you've mastered this. This is EBI7. It is so important. Hopefully now you're happy and you can crack it. Thank you for watching. À bientôt. Au revoir.